What is happening, my home dogs? Today we're talking about the Windows Task Scheduler and why it's awesome. So the Task Scheduler is an application in Windows that allows you to automate particular programs or scripts or basically any sort of like job or like task that you would want to reoccur at like a scheduled interval. So you can do it like daily, weekly, monthly. If you scheduled a bunch of them, you could do it like hourly if you really wanted to. If it's like, I don't know, like an important like system scan. But yeah, it just allows you to do a lot of things that can be tedious or monotonous to have to do manually, and just the computer will take care of it for you. So one example of this is a scheduled task I have here, which is a NVIDIA driver update that basically checks to see if my graphics card needs a software update and then like does it if it needs that. So all my computer hardware is good to go with that. And so it's basically you can create a basic task over here or create a task. This is where you would like set those things up. The difference between a basic task and a regular task is that a basic task just doesn't give you as many like options or availability with regard to things. I believe it only allows you to either run a program or script, send an email, or do a particular like notification on the screen. You can also import tasks right here. And basically what that does is if you exported a task from a different machine, you can then import that to basically move that task from one machine to the other. So it can save you a lot of time from having to like manually set up every single one of your scheduled tasks by hand. You can also display all the running tasks and then either enable or disable all tasks history. And then once you have a particular like task selected, you can either like run it. So while my NVIDIA driver update is scheduled to run at 12:25 p.m. every day, I could run it right now if I want to, and it would just check to see if my graphics card needs an update. If a task is running currently, you can hit this button right here to end it, and then you can disable a task, which basically means that it's no longer like gonna be happening every day. So if I disable this one, it would just no longer like check every day, but it would still be on my system. And then I'll just re-enable it once I want my graphics card driver checks to continue. Then you can export it. So yeah, that's if you have a particular task scheduler setup that you want to put on another machine. Just makes it a lot easier if you can just export that setup and then move it over to the other machine via a file. And then you can view the properties of the particular scheduled task. And then you can, if you just want to nuke the task and get it off your computer, we don't want that anymore. We would just delete that scheduled task. And this would play a great role in Cyber Patriot if you have a particular like script that you want to like run as like a security thing, like when it comes to like log monitoring, or just for like checking for suspicious like activity, like I don't know, like new users were created or file permissions were changed. Being able to use a task scheduler to like automate that process can make your life a lot easier. Also, when you're like given your boxes for Cyber Patriot, you also want to check the task scheduler for any sort of malicious scheduled tasks. Like say if Netcat is set to open up on a particular port every hour, that's just listening for a connection. That's like really bad, or some sort of like malware, or just any sort of like task that is not normal that kind of like sets off red flags. You definitely want to either disable or kill those or delete those scheduled tasks, as they can definitely make your life a lot more difficult. So a basic overview is how we would create a task. So we're going to be basically just clicking create basic task, and we're going to be doing one that just opens notepad.exe. So we'll just say notepad.exe opener as the name of the task. And then for description, this task opens notepad.exe. And so we'll go next, and then we'll basically just check what you or how often you want it to occur. So you can do it daily, weekly, monthly. It can be a one-time thing. You can have a task start on boot up. This can be a little scary with certain malware that will configure themselves to basically run on boot up, and so you need to make sure you disable that with like a software like auto runs to see if like basically to make sure that doesn't happen. You can also do it when a user logs on or when a specific event is logged. So like you can have a task schedule that like records, hey, there was a change in the firewall configuration, and have like that task or like maybe a security script run to see what happened and then change it back to a more secure setting. So we're just going to do like daily for right now. We'll just have it recur every day and just have this one happen at 12:13 a.m. and then hit next. And we want to start a program because it's going to be notepad.exe. And then so now here we'll copy and paste the file path for Notepad. So I don't have that saved, so let me just pull it up real quick. So I'm going to launch Notepad through PowerShell and then pull up Process Explorer right here, which then I'll go down and find notepad.exe down here near the bottom. Yeah, right here. And then double click that, and then I'll pull up the path to the basically where it is in my system, the path to the executable. And then I'll head back to Task Scheduler and then just copy and paste the file path for the program that I want to be running. And then you can also add additional arguments or where you want to start in here if you want to do that. So I'll just hit next, and then it'll just give me a brief overview of like basically everything, make sure that we're good to go with that, hit finish, and then bam, I now have a new scheduled task that will open notepad.exe at 12:30 a.m. every day, or 13 minutes past midnight. And I imagine I would get sick and tired of having this happen if I'm up late at night doing homework and just Notepad just keeps popping up on a daily basis. So I want to get rid of this scheduled task, and so I'm just going to hit right click and then delete the scheduled task, and then bam, the notepad.exe scheduled task is no more. And so yeah, that's a quick overview of the task scheduler. Hope you found this helpful, and best of luck with y'all's Cyber Patriot competition.